Alrighty. Happy to have all the Jazz fans back in here for a little doubleheader tonight. I'm going to be joined today by my co-host, Jazz Riley. You want to say hello?
What's up, y'all? Nice to be here. Glad to be part of this thing. We're gonna have a really nice night tonight.
I'm very excited, man. Jazz losing a nail breaker last time, hoping to bounce back tonight. They have the Pistons and the Pacers on the schedule. Pistons first, that's going to be coming up in just a few minutes here. And then a little after that, scheduled for 8 p.m. Eastern, will be the Jazz taking on the Pacers. While we're waiting here, they're doing a little rundown on the show. We're going to do a rundown of our own, picking a couple of the games tonight. Riley, who do you have coming out first in the Pacers versus the Warriors?
The Warriors just look amazing this year. The Jazz saw a little bit of what they can do. They're really just spreading the floor and getting up really good shots. So I'm going to take the Warriors in that one. They're on a hot streak right now. They haven't lost a game yet. I'm gonna say that things stay the same.
I agree with that one. I think the Warriors are going to be tough to beat. And I will say, hopefully, they can maybe demoralize the Pacers a little bit. Hopefully, demoralize them instead of rouse them up. Maybe they beat them down. That second game is a little bit easier for the Jazz. Next one up would be Jazz Pistons. You got to pick the Jazz coming out of that one.
Yeah, come on now. We're coming off two losses, and I don't think we're in a position to drop another one. So coming out, I think we're going to come out strong. We're going to have some good guard play. Kel's coming off such an amazing game. And I think we're gonna get some good play out of our bigs as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man. Jazz so close in that last game, and they played virtually no defense. So if Kel gives you an even closer repeat performance, and you get a couple stops here and there, I gotta like their odds against the Pistons. After that, it's Mavs versus Bucks. The Bucks just took down the Jazz in their last game. Who do you have winning that one?
I really like the Bucks. They really weathered the storm against us with such an amazing performance. So I'm going to take the Bucks in this one. I think that they have some really good guard play. They're able to really stretch the floor in a way that some of these other teams can't. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Yeah, we're 3 for 3 right now on the same ones. I think it's hard to pick against the Bucks. What we just saw from Johnny and Cooks in the last game, and the Mavs have been struggling, particularly Kenny Zeus. He's been hurting at that guard spot, so I think it's tough to go against the Bucks there. After that last game before the Jazz doubleheader starts up, Dukes versus Blazer 5. Who do you have?
Ooh, this is a tough one. This could be a really really close game, but I think I'm gonna take Ducks. I think the way that they're spreading the floor right now, they're really getting downhill really well in their last couple games. So I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, I like Dukes a lot there. Blazer 5, they show some things between Claude and the new addition there from the backcourt, but when you have two vets like Killian Vandy, I feel like I gotta give them the nod in this. We'll see. That Blazer team has already upset some people, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and sneak Dukes, but I'm gonna pick Dukes to come out on top. And then finally, we're up to our doubleheader there. Pacers versus Jazz. Got to take the Jazz again, right?
Come on, man. You know why we're here. Jazz are winning out the night. They're sweeping the floor. I think we got a lot of good camaraderie coming through the teams right now, and it's gonna be a nice night. I think we're gonna go 2-0. I think we're gonna sleep well.
Yeah, I like the optimism. I do think early on the offense was really struggling early in the season, and the defense was kind of helping them stay in games. And then what we saw in the last game was the offense taking off, defense lagging behind. So hopefully tonight's the night they put it both sides together. Really early in the year, it was the offense super bad and the defense really good, and then yesterday or 2 days ago rather, the offense was insane and the defense was really bad. So if you can somewhere kind of meet in the middle there, you should be a really dominant team.
Absolutely, and 2K is really just a game of inches. And sometimes you see teams that really want to push it on offense, but they sacrifice defense in the meantime. And so, if we can really put it together, I think we're gonna have a good night.
Yeah, man, you don't need one side totally taken over like we've seen. If they just can get a little bit of a balance, I really do believe in this Jazz team. They've been so close in so many of the games. Just got to figure out a way to close them. And it looks like we should be tipping off any minute now. They're showing some a little bit of the Pistons, a little bit of the Jazz as they're getting ready for their games. Everybody getting in the lobby, getting ready, getting comfortable. Are you a guy? And let me ask this: some people play with their controller kind of on the desk in front of them. Some people play with underneath the desk. Which one are you?
Oh, I'm definitely an under the desk guy. I need a full I need a full hold in that controller so I can get my quick icon passes off.
Oh, 100%. I'm somebody, I get real close to the monitor. I really tuck myself into my desk because there's no room for my arms to be up there, really. It's got to be tucked away underneath.
There's too many screens and too many keyboards up here. I need it to be clear up here. So I'm feeling good when it's underneath.
I think, as I watch a little bit more, it looks like more and more people are going underneath. I remember in the early days, we saw many more, particularly the old heads, going over the desk, kind of in front of them. Now it seems like more people are tucking it away like a good poker player out in their hands. So maybe it's something with the younger generation.
Hey, can't let them know your next move, man. Can't let them know. Let them know.
That's exactly right. Jazz Gaming looking very locked in here. Rhea perhaps even looking a little bit sleepy. Maybe some late night film sessions. A win here would be really big, not just for the season, but even going into the next game. You want to try to build up a little bit of momentum and climb in the standings as we go towards the tip-off, because group play will be finishing tonight, I believe. You just don't. You don't want to end the season on a loss or really two losses, or end group play, I should say. That would just be a bit demoralizing as you go into the next tournaments.
Yeah, and 2 wins can really give us some movement if a couple things fall in our favor. With 18 games tonight, a lot can change. Like the standings are going to look totally different after tonight.
Yeah, it's hard to even do a little bit of kind of predicting some math on trying to figure out who's going to land where. There's so many games. We saw last night some of the games getting postponed and being pushed to tonight. So like you said, 18 games. It's really hard to figure out where everyone's going to land, even if you go through and pick all of them between the math and the point differential and all that good stuff. So I'm very excited to see what the Jazz can do and what this team is going to look like. We've seen 2 completely different looks from the first half of the season to the game that was last played on Wednesday. I just want to see what Jazz team we're getting tonight.
Hey, hopefully we get both of them. Both of them on the good side. Some of that defense from earlier in the year, and some of that explosive offense from as of late.
Yeah, the big thing, and this isn't just a Jazz thing, it's been an every team thing. As we've seen a few more teams go to the 5-out or the pick and pop, like the T-Wolves kind of originated this year, I believe, those centers just don't seem to be as dominant, not even just the players, but the actual builds that they're using. Those poppers seem a little soft compared to the inside. We've seen a lot more offensive rebounds given up. As both of the popper builds seem to really struggle with the defensive rebounding. So I think the big thing to watch as teams keep going to this pick and pop and 5-out is, will we see anybody kind of adapt, any of these really good centers like Rhea, like Slaughter, and learn how to get more stops, get more rebounds, and do more on that side of the ball while still giving your team the spacing that they need for offense.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a copycat league. People are seeing some of the success that some of these teams are having from spreading the floor like that and giving those guards space with a wide open lane. And when you have good guards that have all that space in the lane and they're making good decisions, it's really, really hard to beat. So it's really going to be interesting to see what's the future for bigs in this league, period.
Yeah, a lot of people, like I mentioned, or at least a few teams have quickly switched to that 5-out meta. So we'll see if more teams keep doing it, or if some teams say, you know what, it was worth a try. We don't like what we're sacrificing on defense. We think we're good enough with the inside center, and we like our center being able to do more on both ends. So I like today will be very telling, I'll say, whether we're going to see more teams go back to the inside, or we see a few more teams keep going to that popper like we saw yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be really, really fun to see.
And it looks like we are going to have tip-off here. The Jazz are up and going. And I think Rhea is still staying on that popper, so that's going to stay constant. They're going to stick with this 5-out. We're seeing Rec run it more. He tries to send it down the middle. That's going to be picked off. Rec had minimal touches in their last game because of what Kel was doing. B-Rich with the pull-up 3 on the break. We'll see. It looks like maybe they're going to try to get him more involved early.
Yeah, no, I like to see that. I like to see the ball moving a little bit more, giving a little bit of space to those guys.
That was the one thing I liked about the Bucks, is how Cooks and Johnny were able to both kind of touch the ball and work there, as Rex Midi isn't able to go. With the Jazz, they were scoring and that wasn't necessarily an issue, but it was just Kel. I mean, he had a few assists, but it was really just 4 people watching Kel work, and that offense can get stagnant. We saw it late. as the Jazz struggled to keep pace with the Bucks a little bit and they weren't getting the stops. So I think if you're going to run the 5 out, you got to get more people involved.
Absolutely, and it's hard to do so because when a guy is playing so well, you want to give him space and, as the kids say, let him cook. But sometimes you get your offense to a point to where nobody's ever even moving and no one's looking for shots, and that can be detrimental in a whole other group of ways.
B-Rich is letting him fly early, as that one's not going to go either. I think he just shot a smothered on the very shot before that. Rick Combos picks Ramos. He tries to go to the rim. Now Kel working on the break, and they are going to foul him. That's Ant's first foul. We see so many fouls in transition. Pretty rarely do you see a transition take foul. The way that 2K has it set up, you don't get many of those once you cross half court. So a lot of teams, they seal it on the inbounds. Ant thought about maybe dropping him on the break. He's going to dunk it. A lot of teams will let you cross half court and then foul you, just with the way that 2K's programmed, that pretty rarely ends up in the take foul in that situation.
Yeah, man, you got to keep those hands back. Got to keep those hands back after the rebound.
Yep, it's tough. It used to be a lot of spam and X off of the rebounds, trying to get a fluke or tip the pass or something. Now, you don't see many guys doing that because it's a take foul every time if you do foul him. Kel does get fouled there as he's going to the rim. He's going to go to the line, try to get the Jazz on the board. That one's up and good. See Rec Combos with 2 turnovers already, only about 2 minutes into the game. That's not what you want to see from the guard. And if it keeps up like this, they might just be going back to Kel like they did last game.
You might want to see that. Kel's with an open lane is really hard to stop. So if we get some nice runs, we'll be good in a good spot.
Yeah, Kel was so good getting downhill in that last game. Makes it really tough to guard, as B-Rich is going to try to go downhill himself. That's going to get punched away by Charger off the glass. Now Rec Combos. He's going to be fouled again. That was way in the backcourt. Not a take foul because they slowed it up, but it looks like the Jazz had already decided to not push it in transition, and B-Rich got stuck in a foul animation.
I mean, you got to keep your hands back on a play like that.
Now it's Kel going to the rim again, and he has no fear. I'll say when he starts going to the rim, he's not looking to pass out. He doesn't care if you swing late or not, if the center's coming down or the power forward's coming down. He's holding up on the right stick and going for that two-handed dunk.
Oh, absolutely. And I love it. I love his pacing. He takes a little stop and gets straight to that rim. It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of guards in this 5-out, even Bear and stuff, you'll see him kind of get to the free throw line, and then they'll try to throw a quick dot to the corner, which isn't a bad thing either. It's just, it requires a lot of playmaking instinct of knowing when those corners are going to go. And I don't know if Kel's quite on that level. He might be more of a scorer than Bear, but I don't know if he quite has the playmaking instinct to make those kind of reads that fast.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if they keep Connor on Kel or not. He wasn't on that last play. Rec Combos gets into the mid. He bails out to Kaze at the wing, and they do call a timeout. Somebody was stuck in the paint there trying to avoid the 3 in the key. They do call it. I wondered if we'd start seeing that too with some power forwards guarding ball more, just to try to stop the rim runs. You have to take your chances at the three-point line. You have a lot more help down there, but once they get penetration, it's tough for the corners to come in and pinch. So I wondered if we'd see more power forwards get on ball.
Yeah, it's just such a far run to that corner, and shooters in this league are professionals, and so if you give them even a half a second, they're getting a good shot off.
Yeah, in this Pistons team, we've seen early, they already have 2 steals and 4 fouls, so not afraid to foul. They were leading the league in steals, I saw just a couple days ago, so definitely a team that likes to generate turnovers and push it in transition. If the Jazz can manage that, they're in a much better spot. Early on, the Pistons are kind of having their way, though. Now, coming out of the timeout, the Jazz are going to have 6 seconds to try to get something. Charger will be stuck on that left side. Rec Combos coming to the left wing to get the inbounds. Now, Rhea's going to flash to that corner. Charger cuts through 4 seconds. Gets Rec on the cut. Nothing there. 1 second. He gets it up. Can Charger get the board? He does. Back out to Kaze. That's going to be a midi, but he does get it to fall. That cuts the lead to 2. A little bit of a scramble play there, but Rec doing a nice job of finding a spot to put up the free board, get that back-end defender in a tough spot where he has to choose between contesting and boxing out. Charger taking advantage with the offensive rebound and kicking it back. Wow, what a shot by Ant off of the crab. Ant gets that 3 to go. The defender kind of flew by him. Ant with no hesitation puts it up, and he gets it to fall there. Now we're seeing Kel back up top. He tries to answer with a three of his own, and he does. You saw bag motion backpedaling there, afraid that Kel was going to rim run again, and Kel takes that little bit of space and puts it up. Ant hesitation, and he gets to the rim. This is a fast-paced game. It's similar to what we saw in the Bucks game. It's not quite as fast-paced as that or as much scoring, but, I mean, these two teams are playing very quick as offensively and defensively. Defensively, they're taking chances, trying to get turnovers. You see the Pistons get a third steal there in the first quarter and with the behind the back, and that's going to be a dunk by bag motion. Pistons doing a great job of getting these steals early. What do the Jazz have to do to try to cut down on these TOs?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're just going to need to start working back on when Kel starts getting into his move. If you look, nobody's really getting back closer to half court, so they're getting these easy run-outs.
Yeah, every time it seems like the Pistons get one of these turnovers, they're able to capitalize there. It's a 3-on-3 break. They are able to slow them up enough, and it looks like they are going to reset. Maybe B-Rich.
Three guys back.
And he shoots it late. That was open. Kind of a misplay there. And that's another steal. Rec combos with a third turnover here. They're going to send it down low to Ramo, and he puts it away. We saw Rhea come up and set the screen on the play before that. I'm curious if he'll keep doing that. If they like the pick and pop a little more than the 5 out, it looks like he is going to set another one here. Over to Kel. He has some room, but that's going to be off. 12%. Rhea with a nice rebound. That's out to Kaze. That one goes. Kaze with some hot shooting early. They need those off of the offensive rebounds. Those are big possessions. If Rhea's able to save those, even on the popper, if he can get some offensive rebounds against Ramo's inside, that's a big difference maker. Ant trying to get around Kaze. Nothing there. B-Rich back to Ant. Over in the corner to bag motion. He had room. Kel caught snoozing in the corner. Backed off of bag motion a little bit. Those locks are too tall and too good at shooting. Talking about a build that's 6'8" with an 82 3-ball, give or take. That you just can't give them room.
And it's too quick. You got to be there on the catch.
Yeah, the guards are just way too short this year. If you're not hugging them, and that's going to be a fourth or maybe a fifth steal for the Pistons, they're out again. They have just been
tough.
all over the Jazz early.
Those turnovers at the top of the key are really hard to get back from. So we're gonna have to keep some of those plays closer to the rim.
Yeah, you know, if you, like you mentioned, if you get a turnover in the free throw line or in the paint, it's not as big of a deal. You have a few guys who can get back. Like there, they block it. Are they able to get back? And they do force the stop. They can't get the rebound. It's back out to Ant. Ant fading into the corner at the buzzer, and he does get it to fall. Cap off a 25-point quarter for the Pistons. But you saw they were able to stop the break because it was a miss towards the paint. When your guards are turning it over up top, there's no one to get back for you.
And there's just really nothing you can do with that. So we're gonna have to get some stuff closer to the rim and maybe work into some of those corners because some of these breakouts are just too much for the Jazz defense to get back to.
Yeah, Rec with another slow start here. They're going to need to give him a little pep talk and then get him going in the second. You don't want this game to get out of hand early. The big thing is Pistons 5 for 8 from 3. Only 10 made shots. Half of them have been threes. And outside of B-Rich, nobody on the team has missed. Ant has scored a couple times in transition, maybe more than a couple, getting the threes up and stuff. You saw the buzzer beater there. Bag motion had that corner three over Kel. And then, you know, B-Rich is always going to let him fly. So the Pistons are getting the threes up. They're roughly middle of the league in three-point percentage, but when you talk about attempts, they are not shy about shooting at all.
Not shy. They are getting them up, and when you have the shooters to shoot them, it's worth it. You know, three's more than two, and it's such a fast-paced game. If you're getting up a lot of shots, eventually it's a math game, and it's going to come out in your favor.
Yeah, we gotta hope in the second quarter. There's a lot of things to work on. Jazz with a really rocky start. You got to get the turnovers down first and foremost. That's the biggest thing that's killing them right now. And then if you're going to that pick and pop, that's okay, but you want to make sure you don't fall in love with either the pop or the slip. You got to use them in balance because it's pretty easy to shut down if you're only popping all the time or only slipping all the time. So we'll see how Rhea can manage that.
Absolutely. You can't give a good player a steady diet of anything.
Yeah, the Pistons have really done a good job. They've gotten a lot of steals off blitzing from the wing as the guard tries to take it wide, like we saw Kel do so many times against the Bucks. He tries to take it wide, and the hash defender just blitzes that hand, making sure he can't go that way as Ant tries to get a step back three. That's another one, 11% contested. They're able to get those turnovers off the blitzes, so we'll see if they kind of change which way they're going, if they want to use the screen differently, or if they want to start dotting that hash defender, force him to play more honest over there.
Yeah, you got to keep that guy. Got to keep that guy engaged because right now he's letting him have carte blanche to do as he pleases.
And that's going to go right over Connor's head. Arguably should have been another steal. His players caught flinching at it. He did reach at the right time, but 2K's just not showing him any love. Jazz catch a break with that one. Ant with play badge. Now this is when it gets scary because that's a foul. I thought it might be an and one. I had to stop and watch for a second. That play badge is so scary. All the players on the court already have such high three-pointers. And then you give them that play badge. I mean, it's just a lot to cover right now. The floor already in the 2K League is a little bit bigger than retail, and when you get the play badge, it feels huge.
Yeah, when those guys are getting that boost on those shots, it's there's nothing you can really do.
Yeah, this is when we see, and we mentioned the Warriors earlier, this is when you see teams like that start looking to Kenny to shoot over guards or their power forward to shoot over guards, depending on who has the mismatch. And it's really tough. The guard, even if they play it perfectly, may only get an 11 or 12% contest, and that's very hittable with these lock builds and certainly with the play badge.
Absolutely, and with professionals behind the controllers, 12% is like zero.
Kaze shooting a smother there, not able to get it to go. Charger pokes it away in the backcourt, but the Pistons come up with it. Now it's going to be Ant slowing it up. Is Ramo going to stay on the block? No, he's coming up for a screen. Ant walking it back again, gets two defenders, one of them jumping, and he quick drops. I mean, Ant is carving up this defense right now. In the back end, you saw they were fearing that walk back again, so he jumps, and then the lock kind of gets stuck on his own guy there, and really just ends up with another dunk for Ant.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about staying on the ground. I know it's hard to do when these guys can shoot from so far away, but you gotta stay down on some of those moves.
Yeah, it's tough to stay disciplined. They're fearing the Pistons have gotten a lot of threes early. They're feeling a little nervous as Kaze tries to let a fade go there. That's early and 7%, no good. Charger tips it again. He's been active in that backcourt, but hasn't been able to get a steal off of it yet.
No, you have to give it to Charger. I've been watching him on defense, and watching the way that he's getting in and out of the paint is really deterring a lot of these drives, even though the score doesn't tell so.
Yeah, I like a lot of what he's been doing. Overall, when you talk about his off-ball defense, as Connor's able to get that rebound, they're going to kick it back out to Ant. You just need to see that pick-and-roll defense pick up a little bit. Ant's going to airball. That's straight out of bounds. Wide open,
Maybe
but...
That's the momentum we need, man.
Yeah, that might be the swing you need. The score is a little ugly right now, but plays like that, even if it's just for a little laugh, kind of break up the tension a little bit and hope that you can get back on the right track. Again, they blitz him. They're not letting Kel get that wide angle, and that's what was killing the Bucks. Ant's going to dunk again on the break because of a top-of-the-key turnover. In order to get that angle to the rim, you have to take it wide a little bit and curl it around your guy and then go towards the rim. The Pistons are saying, listen, you're going to have to dot us. Our corner defenders are going to play two. Rec can't get that open three to go. And they're just blitzing the hand over and over again, forcing him to give it up. And Kel right now a little reluctant to do that. Now Connor wide open in the corner. He gets that three to go. 37-14. This is an ugly start for the Jazz. A 12-2 quarter coming out in the second. I'm not too good at math, but 37-14, it's looking a little rough early.
It is looking a little rough early. I think right now it's just a defensive issue. If you look at it, they've just taken so many more shots than us right now. It's getting to the point where it's a math game. You gotta keep the ball in possession, not have those turnovers at the top of the key, and then maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, the TOs are so killer. And Rec Combos has had a few open looks. When those aren't going and you pair in the TOs, I mean, a missed three-pointer, you know the guards up top are leaking. Ants and bag motion, they're getting out of there trying to hope that they get the board and they can throw the break, which we've seen. And then you pair the turnovers with it. That's how Ant was able to get that play badge so early. It wasn't off of the assists. He only has 3 of them. It's off of all those fast break opportunities, many of them ending in dunks for him. That's just easy takeover time and time again.
Yeah, and you just got to weather the storm through a takeover like that.
You're hoping bag motion's takeover expired. You're hoping Ants is going to be gone here soon. And then maybe you can make a push to get this lead more manageable going into the second half. You don't have to get it back all at once, but you do have to start chipping away because it's getting kind of out of hand early. Rec Combos had an opening, but he's tired. It's tough to shoot those shots when you're out of stamina. It's going to be very slow, and even if it is open, it's tough to time. But many times it's not open because the jumper's so slow, somebody can get back to it.
Yeah, and your meter is just getting so much smaller on
Yep.
those tired threes.
Now he has some energy. He's going to shoot it. No good very early. You got to wonder what's up there. That was a good animation. And the Pistons answer with another fast break three. I mean, he got the good fade there, and he wasn't tired. Very early. I don't know what he could have been expecting, but that's not what you like to see out of your guard.
Yeah, it's a good shot, and it's good to see them taking good shots, but
Cal with a nice move. He freezes the defense. That's a nice three there. Like I said, you just have to start chipping away, and a lot of that starts with you have to get the open ones to fall. The thing that's been killing them really early is that the Pistons are taking advantage of their open looks over and over, and the Jazz are missing theirs on top of the turnovers. When you just start piling all these things on, that's how a game gets out of hand. Now Ant trying to send it back to bag motion. Down to Ramo. He's been down there for a while. He has to go up. Rhea with a nice rebound. And you see 3 Pistons back there. There was only one guy leaking. I think it was Kel. 3 Pistons back, making sure that if you want to come back in this game, it's going to have to be in the half court.
Yeah, I think the Jazz can take a note out of that playbook and make sure that we're all getting back on defense. Good steal.
Nice steal from Rick. That's what we need to see more of on the break defense there. Now back to Kel.
He heard me.
Nice, and that's a 3 from Kel. The Pistons are going to call a timeout, feeling a little bit of a run of their own. That looks like a 6-2 run or something for the Jazz. A 20-point deficit still, but plenty of time left in the game. If you can come out of this timeout, get a couple more buckets, that's going to be a big help as you go into the third quarter with maybe only a 12 or 15-point deficit.
And this game is so fast-paced. The lead could change in an instant. So with a second half with some less turnovers, maybe make some threes, string together a couple stops, we can really make a comeback in this.
Yeah, 100%. And if they can force some of those turnovers of their own, that's big. You saw Rec Combos when he got that last steal. They were able to instantly go down and get a 3 from Kel off the pass from Maria. So if you can force some turnovers on your own, well cutting down the turnovers on your side, that's a huge swing every single time. You're taking away 2s and 3s from them. You're getting them back on your side. That's how you get back in a game like this. About a minute left in the first half here. It's going to be Pistons with the ball out of the timeout. That's a big screen from Ramo, and right back to the rim. Maria's going to deny it. Now Rec Combos, 3-on-3, and they are going to foul. That is Ramo's first foul there. The Pistons, that's their foul to give. Anything past here will be free throws. Still about a minute. Rhea with the ball in the corner, thought about the shot. He's going to get it to Rec with bag motion on him. He's denying that middle. He does finally get there. Rec open again, and that one's good. Lead down to 17, 52 seconds remaining.
It all starts with Rhea making a huge recovery to get back to that dunk. I thought that was going in.
100%. And like we saw, he didn't block it there, but he gets close enough where his anchor kicks in, and that forces the dunk to miss. So even, some lucky plays like that, where just getting in good position and hoping the game goes your way, that's what they need right now. 5 seconds. This is some good defense so far. Charger does get back in front, but the ball's going to bounce to Ramo. 10 seconds left. Is he going to be able to get the reset? Now 6 seconds. Bierich working. Thought about the fade over to bag motion. They like going to him late in the shot clock. He just throws it into Kel. Not sure what happened. It's going to be a take foul on him then after the turnover, which sends Rec Combo to the line. That gets him a little more takeover. You see up top, that's about half full. And even before you get take, it's nice to have some in your bar. It helps you move a little better, shoot a little better, all that kind of good stuff. So it's much easier to play when you have some takeover in your bar versus when it's empty. 9 seconds. Will the Jazz be able to get something here with the last play of the half? 4 seconds. Looking for a Rhea on the pop. Maybe had him. Now Kel stepping into a midi. At the buzzer, he gets it to go. That cuts the lead to 14. And just
awesome.
like that, you saw the quarter was 12-3. It finishes 14-15, so it's still a loss. But when you talk about a lead that was over 20 points at one point, now you cut it to 14. That's a big difference going into halftime.
Absolutely. And, I think we saw a little bit of momentum coming in at the end. It felt like they really figured out a little bit of the Pistons offense. It's a little bit of the Pistons defense, getting some of those shots to fall on those quick passes.
Yeah, Rec has had a lot of looks over the top of the key that they're just giving him right now because they don't believe he can hit them. I like that he's been taking them. You just need some of those to go. And once he starts hitting that, that opens up the whole offense as the Pistons have to expand their defense a little bit more, step all the way out to him at the top of the key, and that's going to really change a lot.
Totally agree. And giving Rec credit, he's getting to some really good shots. He's had a couple faders that didn't fall. A couple threes, but hey, I think with time and as you get into the flow of the game and you expect those shots to come and you know that they're going to come in what spots as you read the defense, I think we're in a good spot.
Yeah, that's something that you see veteran point guards do so well. Mama's been doing it over in Golden State. When they know that the defense is going to back off, you're almost predicting that you're going to be open so that you can take a shot, and the timing of it is so perfect. They're like, how could they have known that guy was going to, the back end defender was going to start backpedaling? They shoot that little peek right before the lock can get back in the play. Rec is still just a rookie, so, you got to give him a little bit of time to figure this out, but when you start seeing him shoot shots right behind the screen before anybody can help, that's what's going to be the big difference maker for them. You need some of those shots to go. He's been taking them. He took a couple at the wing, took a couple top of the key. You just need to see him get them to go, and then that will build up some confidence too with him.
Absolutely, and I think when he's confident, we saw it a little bit in the threes league. He's something special, and so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to come out in the second half really firing and hit some shots.
Yeah, the thing that I've liked about Rick overall this season, in threes and in fives, he doesn't seem to lack the confidence to shoot for the most part. Early in the five season, in the first game, we saw him hesitating much more, pump faking opens, throwing it to Rhea on the slip a lot. Since then, though, it's been much more aggressive. He has 7 shots here in this first half, I think it was, and he hasn't been afraid to shoot those tight shots. Many of them have been open. He's shot a couple bad ones, but mostly they've been open, good shots. That's just what you need to keep seeing from him. Keep being aggressive and earn the defense's respect. That's what's killing the Jazz right now on the other end, is they respect Ant's walk back so much. It's opening everything up. You just have to get that same thing going if you're the Jazz and Rec combos.
Absolutely, and I think we have the talent to do so. It's just a matter of getting them to fall through the net.
Yep, 100%. We're going to take a short break here as they are at halftime. We'll be back in just a couple minutes to close out the second half. Hopefully we can see Jazz Gaming make a comeback here. Okay, and we are back here for the second half. Pistons will be coming out with the ball. We're going to need to see the Jazz hopefully come out with an early stop and keep that momentum going that they had to close the second quarter. They went on a nice little run to keep it close. Now they just got to continue it coming out in the second half. That's Ant from way downtown. No good. Nice rebound from Rhea. Charger pushing it. He does get around Ramo, and he puts it away with two hands there. I like to see that from Charger. Many power forwards would have picked up the ball. He decides to keep going, knowing Ramo's going to reach, and gets easy 2 points there.
Absolutely love that, and adds an extra dimension to your offense.
And that's Kaze with the steal. Now Rec Combo's backing up. Thought about it. Don't know if that would have been open. Might have been a good pickup there. Rhea now thinking about the shot. Now Rec Combos over the wing. Cal, 6 seconds. Rhea going to come back up for one quick screen. Now he's popping. Charger in the midi. And he doesn't get it to go. That would have been a nice one to have there to cut the lead to 10. Nice shot. He kind of found a gap in the defense, but no good.
Either way, though, I really like how they're being patient on offense right now and finding a good shot.
Yeah, they worked the pick and roll a few times. Rec Combos did, and then Kel works it a couple times, and he made a nice read there knowing Ramo's going to be going to the paint for the board. They just didn't get the shot to go, but that is a good shot, something that you're working for. Now Rec going to the rim. That's a nice two-handed jam. Saw Ramo couldn't get over there in time. I want to see him be more aggressive. He's still at about half takeover. That's only, an assist and a couple shots away, and you get that play badge, and then the whole game swings at that point.
Absolutely. And just an extra second of speed is just so killer in a league like this.
Playing good defense here in the second half. Now Ant trying to get by Kaze, can't do it. B-Rich gets the crab. That's a nice move, and that's tough. That's that moving crossover. The league doesn't have Russell Westbrook, which is what a lot of Pro-Am is using. As you see an inbounds turnover there from Charger. Bad pass. They're going to send it over to B-Rich. He gets the fade in the corner. No good there. That's a rebound from Connor. Now Connor trying to slow it up on the left wing. 9 seconds. Ant maybe fading into that corner. That's his favorite spot. Charger is going to foul him on the three. What I was going to say briefly is just that Westbrook moving cross is what we see in retail. The league has a mini Westbrook of their own. When you talk about that forward cross that you just flick up on the stick and the defender kind of slides off of you, it's really tough to guard that. You have to be sitting back and waiting for it. And if you're not, then you just get tossed behind like Rec Combos did there on the crab.
Yeah, if your timing is just not perfect on that, they're getting an open shot. So it's a tough guard. It's a tough move to guard.
Yeah, very tough. And it's always good at the end of buzzers to pull that one out and see if you can get maybe some kind of crab or some situation even for a free board. Jazz had the lead. They're down closer to 10, maybe 12. It's back up to 17 off of those 3 free throws from Ant. Now over to Rec Combos. Now to Rhea. Rhea gets a 3 to go. He hasn't had a lot of shots even after switching to the popper. And a lot of it has been, I think, because teams respect what he can do in his shooting. They stay real close to him. They don't give him a lot of space. Ant puts that one away. They're going back and forth now. We saw a couple really solid defensive possessions from the Jazz to start the quarter. Now it's kind of going back to what we saw earlier, which is just a lot of back and forth scoring, not much defense either way.
Yeah, and if we're going to make a comeback in this game, we're going to need a little bit of that defense as well to go with the scoring that we're getting in the second half.
Yeah, you don't have to play at such a crazy pace this early. It's still 3 minutes left in this quarter, and then you got the whole fourth. You don't have to worry about the pace just yet. A lot of it's just working smart, getting the stops, and getting good looks on offense. See Rec Combos using that moving cross there. He had the crab, but it was kind of awkward. Now he's going to go to the rim. Nice job there, even tired. Still gets the dunk to go. Lead is down to 14.
It's just great patience. You love to see him come off that pick and roll and really think about where the defenders are and space them out and think about the timing of them getting to him at the rim.
And maybe should have been blitzed there by Charger. He kind of puts it, looks like, through his legs, and he's going to get a dunk to go on the other end. The defense that looks strong for a couple minutes here to start the third is kind of non-existent now. The Pistons are getting what they want early in the shot clock. Cal trying to get the crab, almost gets it stolen away from bag motion. Now Ant blitzing again. I mean, it's been over and over again that we see them getting that steal, and then it gets tipped away there by Kaze in the lane. Kaze dunks it. Nice job to save the break. We needed to see something like that from both the Jazz and Kaze. For both of them, that's big. Kel just has to make that adjustment. You have to go more north-south, less kind of east-west. That's what's killing him right now, as he keeps trying to move laterally. That reverse is going to be punched away by Ant. Now the Jazz are pushing again.
Gave him a bad catch animation that could have been a dunk.
Yeah, the very, very rough as he bobbles it there. Now Rhea puts it away. The Jazz hanging around this 12-point mark, but they got to try to cut it down a little bit more moving into the fourth to give them the best chance of winning this one. Now to B-Rich. B-Rich back to Ant. I don't know if that's going to be open. 11%. It's hittable, but not a shot you're looking for if you're the Pistons.
And I always say it's hard to win off of 11%. So if you're getting good contested, sometimes it's all you can do with good players.
Now Rec does pop his badge. Can't get the three to go. That would have been a big one. The board's going to be tipped away. Pistons moving again. B-Rich looks like he's going to slow it up, and that's going to be Kel with the foul. That's a big three to miss. Rec pops the badge, gets wide open. That's been the spot that they're leaving for him, and he misses it again.
Yeah, we're going to need some of those to go in the fourth quarter. Good steal.
Nice. Kel picking it off there in the lane. Kind of dumps it to Rhea. Now Rhea back out. Can't get it to go. That's another missed open three from the Jazz. You need some of these to come back. The margin for error when you're down this much with just about a quarter remaining now, it's not there where you can just be missing opens over and over. And finally, the Pistons capitalize with a dunk on the other end. Especially when Rec has that play badge, you cannot afford to be missing open shots. You saw Rec miss one earlier, then Kel misses that one. You just can't do that right now as you're trying to mount a comeback. They're going to send it to Rhea. 4 seconds. Rhea down to Charger. Nice layup there. 2 seconds remaining. Pistons shouldn't be able to get something, but you never know. They do send it to bag motion. Back to B-Rich. No good. 15. That was a little scary. I thought it might be more open than that even. But he does miss. A 12-point deficit here. The Jazz had a chance to cut it closer to 6. But we saw a couple missed threes, and that's kind of been their problem. They stopped the turnovers, but they're missing the open ones, the gimmies now.
Yeah, it's tough, especially with the defense is as tight as it is and you're trailing in the game. You got to hit some of those open ones.
We'll see here coming into the fourth what kind of energy the Jazz come out with. Coming out of halftime, I really liked it. They were active on defense. They got a couple steals. They were working in the break, and then it kind of faded away as we went towards the end of the quarter. I need to see them bring out that same energy and then sustain it for the fourth. A 12-point deficit, you know, it's tough in this league, but it's not impossible, especially Rec's going to have at least a few more plays with that play badge. Rhea just popped his badge, so I think it's very important in these first couple minutes to really establish yourself and try to get the lead down to 6 or 5 and get a couple possessions your way before their badge runs out.
Absolutely, and you hope that with some of our guys like Rex seeing some of those shots coming in and out of the basket, that they're a little bit more ready for them when they come back to them.
We will see 20 seconds left before we go to the ever-important fourth quarter here. This is a big game for the Jazz. Like I said, not just for the season or the standings or the tip-off, but just in general, you want to build something for tonight, but also for later. This is a very different game than we saw when they last brought out this 5-out. Last time by now, they had closer to 60 points. They now have 40, and it's been the turnovers that are really killing them at this point. They did a great job against the Bucks, cutting those down for the most part. We'll see if they can do something here against the Pistons in the fourth quarter. Now Kel, maybe at a crab, over to Charger, off the bailout. Charger gets the 3 to go. That cuts it to 9.
Lovely ball movement right there.
That was really good. We saw it go inside out. We saw Rhea get it back to Kel. Kel maybe had the shot, but he kicks it to Charger for a better look. You like to see stuff like that, and those are big plays for the Jazz as they try to come back. They keep trying to get it to bag motion. Kel, after giving up that 3 early, has been much tighter on him, making sure he doesn't have that space. Charger tries to get to that wing. Can't get there in time, and B-Rich gets the 3 right back for the Pistons.
It was the right read. He had to stun in to help on that drive, but you just wish he could get it out there a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, the windows are so small when you talk about Rhea from way downtown. Wow, I did not know about that shot. When you're talking about how quick you have to, stunt on that inside drive and then try to get back to there, it's very tough to turn your guy that fast, to kind of almost fake the stunt and then immediately go to that hash. You don't have a lot of time to read it. Connor coming way up for trying to get the blitz. Doesn't get it. Wreck with a tough, heavily contested jumper there as they make it back in front. Connor going to go down and foul, making sure that they have to set up their offense once again. It's back to 12 for the Jazz. They've been kind of stuck at this point. Can't really get over the hump and get this game much closer than that. Wreck had a lane to drive there, decides to kick it out. Now 4 seconds. Only one adrenaline. They're going to send it to Kaze. Defender on his side. That's no good. That would have been a nice one to have. It was 9% contested. You're going to see Wreck combos. Foul on the break. Still 4 minutes. Plenty of time here for the Jazz, but you need to start making some of these plays. Wreck hesitant. Didn't want to take that dunk. And off the moving three. Doesn't get it to go. Ramo way down low. Puts it away with 2 hands. Lead to 14. Pistons still being aggressive on this press. You see Ant's all the way up and then bag motion sitting behind him ready to pick up after Ant drops off to go guard the hash. Jazz running some plays here. You saw Kel wrap. Now Rex going to wrap back. Nice dunk there. I think you just have to keep taking what they're going to give you at this point. You don't have to be hunting the threes just yet.
Totally agree. And I love that Kel smelled some blood in the water and went straight to the rim.
Kaze tries to get the quick steal there. Not there. It's going to be Charger getting it, though, stealing the slip. Over to Kaze, now to Rhea. Rhea pass faking in the corner to Kel. Pump faking, and they're going to foul again. Nice job by the Pistons stopping the break. Now can the Jazz do something off of the steal from Charger? You need a bucket here. Rhea with B-Rich on him in the corner. And that was almost bag motion jump on the pass, but it's going to be tipped out of bounds. That was a bad animation from Rhea as this guy was very lackadaisical with the pass, and then Chargers guy lunging for it, but they're lucky to get it back here. Now Rec looking for somebody, gets it to Rhea. He's going to reset to Kel. 5 seconds. He has Ant behind him, didn't shoot it. 2 seconds, maybe has room for the fade. He does. That's a nice 3, and that cuts the lead back to 9. Pistons calling a timeout. Jazz hanging around. Kel with another good game after we saw the monster 40-something point performance last time. We'll see. Kel has been stepping up time and time again. Now we need Rec and some other guys to kind of help him out both offensively and defensively. We'll see what the Jazz can do.
Yeah, no, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Kel over these past 2 games. With 7 for 10 from the field, 4 for 6 from 3. It's really, really nice to watch. I think guard play is really going to be important for this team. As good as our bigs are, we're going to need some more production from the outside. So it's awesome to see Kel's getting in there. And I think Rex is right around the corner. I think he's about to turn a corner on it.
That's what they're going to need. You see Charger making a couple plays here late, getting the steals, getting the blocks. That's what they need. If you can get out on the break, that helps it a lot, saves you a lot of time. But even if you can't, with the way the Pistons have been fouling, if you're efficient with your offense in the half court, that's going to be huge for them in these, final 3 minutes that you have. Pistons are going to have the ball out of the timeout. We'll see if the Jazz can get one more stop here. And I think a stop and a bucket really turns the tides. The Pistons would start to get a little nervous as the game maybe feels like it's slipping away. Ant trying to get it to Ramo. He does push him underneath the rim. Over to bag motion. Now back to Ant. He's way out there with 2 seconds. They get it to Spammy and Connor. It's going to be a shot clock violation. I thought it was a foul. Instead, it's a shot clock violation. Those points aren't going to count as he gets the dunk to go, but just after the buzzer. Kind of a blessing.
Shout out to Charger. Shout out to Charger for such an amazing defensive possession. He came up, guarded the screen, came back, defended the rim, didn't jump, stayed down, and got the stop.
Well, after all that defense, they're going to turn it over on the inbounds. Kind of got a little anxious there, inbounding it too quickly. Bag motion, I think it was, comes all the way, flying up court, steals it, and calls a quick timeout to make sure the Pistons retain the ball. That's killer there. You just played such good defense. The Pistons took the entire shot clock. You get the stop, and now they have the whole shot clock to use again. When it's 9 points, under 3 minutes now, if they can keep chewing the clock like that and just getting buckets here and there, it's going to be tough for the Jazz to come back. So you have to avoid turnovers.
Yeah, that first quarter hole is really coming back to haunt us right now.
Yeah, when you dig a hole like that, it's tough if you don't have a dominant quarterback yourself. You know, they're still not out of it. This is going to be, once again, another big stop. They just got one and they threw it away. So if they can get another stop here, they're still in it. A bucket, it would make it a little bit tough. You'd have to start shooting some threes and some 50-50 shots that you might not want to pull. Now Ant flying around the court over to Beerich. Didn't want to shoot that one. He's taking the screen, working slowly. He's going to bail out to Ant. 3 seconds. Charger off his feet a couple times. Ant doesn't get the fading three to go. That was another maybe blessed for the Jazz, but that's a big one, and that's going to be Connor picking up his 4th foul. Luckily, Ant may have even been a little tired there. That's a big three to miss for them, and this is going to be a huge possession for the Jazz with just above 2 minutes. You want to see them get a bucket here, even if it's just 2. That's going to be a foul on bag motion. That is their 4th foul, so that will be the foul to give. If they foul again, it will be free throws for the rest of the game, the last 2 minutes here. It's not going to stop it from being aggressive. You saw bag motion still reaching up there. 9 seconds. Rhea gets it over to Kel. 5 seconds. Kel working. Pull back. Over the middle. Nothing there. Rhea kind of in the way. That's going to be a smothered very early. That's a tough possession to use the whole shot clock, eat up a lot of time, and then don't score.
It's also a little bit deflating with the... Ooh.
That's a nice move from Ant to get the 2 points. Kel trying to work, get him back in it. He's going to take a quick 2 himself. If you're going to take 2s, you have to be automatic with the stops. And even then, you might need the Pistons to throw some turnovers your way to have a chance in this one now.
Yeah, we're going to need some late game magic.
See the Jazz being aggressive. Rec combos trying to get something. He was over there doubling for a second. They're back in it. 4 seconds. Ramo. Stop and go over in the corner to Connor. No good. Minute left. 9 points. That's going to be free throws. That's big for 2 reasons. One, that was bag motion's 5th foul, which means anything more for him is going to be technical free throws. And 2, this gets them 2 points with 0 seconds taken off the clock. They got that rebound, threw it up court, got the foul, and now that's 2 quick points without having to work for him at all. That's a really bad foul there for the Pistons.
We got a game, folks.
7 points. You see Ant, he's going to wind it all the way down. Now 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Haven't even really started their offense. Ant trying to go to the rim over Rhea, and he gets it to go. That says open, and that's going to be team takeover for the Pistons. That's a heartbreaker. Rhea was right there. It just didn't give him a contest.
That's tough. He just got a little bit too much to the side of him, and he gets that one to fall. But I felt like Rhea was in the right spot. It's tough to see.
Yeah, and that's going to be another foul. So these free throws are letting them stay close enough where it's still a game. The Pistons can't just hold the ball, but man, that layup hurts. They were right on him. I don't know, 2K just not showing a lot of love for the Jazz. Now a 7-point game. A turnover on the press here would be big. Ramo holding it. They're going to try to fluke him, it looks like. Kaze up there reaching. He gets into the corner to bag motion. Now Ant. 5 seconds, almost gets blitzed, but holds on. 2 seconds, he walks it back. He misses. 12 seconds, the Jazz aren't going to call timeout. They're going to try to push it. Kel gets the defender jumping, and he misses the 3. Rhea with the rebound. Rec Combos gets the 3, but they're just going to be out of time. You know, it might have still been too little too late if Kel hit it, but it would have saved him a few seconds at least. You're going to see a late foul there as Rhea jumps at the 3. 3 more free throws for the Pistons, but this game's already over. A nice second half surge from the Jazz, but like you mentioned, that first quarter was just too much to overcome.
Yeah, and I think we figured out their offense a little bit going into the second half, where they weren't getting as many easy shots, and really their offense was just our turnovers, and that was what was making it tough. But coming into this end of the game, I think we showed something that'll be helpful later today.
Yeah, and that's been something that the Pistons have struggled with Overall, we saw it in the Bucks game that they ended up losing. They were so hot early, and then it feels like teams just kind of figure them out. They get a feel for them, and as you see a 3 there to cut the lead back to 4 after the free throws, they figure them out, and you saw the Pistons offense down to 13 and 12 points. Only 25 points for them in the whole second half, where they had 25 in the first quarter. So the Jazz figured them out, but it was just too little too late. We will be back in just a little while, depending on how all the games go. It should be, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern time for the Jazz-Pacers game. We'll keep you guys posted if there's a little bit of a delay or anything like that. Sometimes these games run long, if we maybe see some overtime action here on Friday, but either way, we'll be back closer to 8 for that second Pacers game. See if the Jazz can get back on the right track. They got close there and made a push at the end, made it interesting, but couldn't quite overcome the deficit from the first quarter. Appreciate all you guys hanging around, and we'll see you in just about an hour or so.